What if I told you that the 47 minutes you spend scrolling through your phone every morning are slowly killing your purpose? But what if, just 30 minutes of silence before sunrise could bring it all back? Before this story changes how you see your mornings, do me one favor. Subscribe to Life Lesson Chapters, hit that bell, and promise me you'll watch until the very last word, because the lesson you need today is hiding in the silence you've been running from. Arjun's eyes opened at 6:47 a.m. Not to sunlight, not to peace, but to the screech of his phone alarm, the third one he'd snoozed. He grabbed his phone before he even sat up. 11 notifications, 3 emails, 2 angry texts, 1 breaking news alert about something he couldn't change. His heart was racing before his feet touched the floor. Arjun was 32 years old. By every measure, he had a decent job, a small apartment in the city, friends who laughed with him. But somewhere between his alarm and his first cup of tea, he had already lost something he couldn't name. He felt it when he yelled at the tea vendor for no reason. He felt it when he sat through meetings but heard nothing. He felt it most of all at night, lying awake at 2 a.m., his mind a traffic jam of worry, regret, and that quiet, aching voice whispering, "You are not okay." One Tuesday, an ordinary Tuesday, the kind the universe uses to hide its greatest gifts, Arjun couldn't sleep at all. At 3:48 a.m., he gave up, pulled on a jacket, and walked out into the empty city. The streets were wet from a midnight rain. The streetlights hummed. A stray dog yawned and didn't even look at him. He found himself at an old bridge overlooking the river. The water moved slowly, quietly. For the first time in years, no one was asking him for anything, no notifications, no deadlines, no voices. Just the river, just the dark, just him. And then a voice. An old man sat on the bridge railing, not dangerously, but like someone who had made peace with gravity. His face was a map of wrinkles, but his eyes were young. Arjun said, Yeah, my mind won't shut off." The old man replied, "Your mind isn't broken, son. It's just full. You've been pouring noise into it for years. Now there's no room for silence." Arjun asked, "What's silence got to do with anything?" The old man smiled, pointed to the river, and said, "When a river is filled with rocks and mud, it cannot reflect the moon. But when it is still, even a single star becomes a sun." He stood up and began walking. "Find me tomorrow before the sun. I will show you something, but only if you come with empty hands." Arjun almost didn't go. His mind made a list of excuses: too early, too weird, too much work. But at 4:15 a.m., his feet carried him back to the bridge. The old man was already there, waiting. "You came. Good. Now listen carefully. I will give you 3 challenges. Complete them, and you will understand why silence is the most powerful force you have ignored." The first challenge, the empty chair. The old man said, "Go home. Place a chair by your window. Sit in it. No phone, no book, no music, no closing your eyes to sleep. Just sit for 20 minutes. Do not move. Do not escape." Arjun thought it sounded easy, but the old man laughed softly and asked, "Then why are you afraid?" Arjun did it. He sat in that chair at 5 a.m. The first 3 minutes felt fine. Then came the itch, then the urge to check his phone, then the memory of that embarrassing thing he said in 2017, then the worry about tomorrow's presentation, then the fear that he was wasting time. By minute 12, he almost stood up 5 times. But he didn't. And then something shifted. The noise didn't disappear, but it became distant, like a storm passing on the other side of a mountain. He was still here. The world was still spinning. And for the first time, he was just watching it, not fighting it. The next morning, the old man gave him the second challenge, the listening walk. "Today you will walk to the old banyan tree by the eastern hill. But here is the rule: you cannot think. Every time a thought arrives, you will return your attention to the sound of your own footsteps. 3 sounds only: your feet, your breath, the wind. Nothing else. Arjun said that was impossible, that he was always thinking. The old man simply said, "Exactly." Arjun walked. For the first 10 minutes, his mind rebelled like a caged animal. What if someone calls? What if I'm late? What if? Then he heard his own footstep. Crunch. Then another. Crunch. He kept returning, kept failing, kept returning. By the time he reached the banyan tree, a giant, ancient thing with roots like sleeping serpents, he realized something. For 5 whole seconds on that walk, there had been no thinking, no worry, no story. Just walking. Just silence. Just being. He sat under the tree and wept, not from sadness, but from relief. The old man was waiting at the bridge for the 3rd and final morning. Tonight, before you sleep, you will sit in the dark. And you will ask yourself one question. Do not answer it with words. Answer it with silence. Arjun asked what the question was. The old man leaned close and said, "Who am I without my noise?" Then he walked away. Arjun never saw him again. That night, Arjun sat in the dark, no phone, no distractions, just the question hanging in the air like a star. Who am I without my noise? He sat, he breathed, he listened. And then, softly, gently, like dawn itself, the answer arrived, not in words, but in a feeling: peace. He was still Arjun, still flawed, still human. But beneath the anxiety, beneath the hurry, beneath the endless scrolling and worrying, there was something untouched, something quiet, something that had been waiting for him to stop making noise long enough to notice. Arjun didn't change overnight. But he started waking up at 4:30 a.m., not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He sat in silence for 30 minutes every morning. No phone, no agenda, just the window, the dark, and the slow arrival of light. His friends noticed he seemed calmer. His boss noticed his focus was sharper. But what mattered most is what Arjun noticed. He stopped yelling at the tea vendor, he started sleeping through the night, and he began to feel something he had forgotten existed: joy. The world will tell you that silence is emptiness, that doing nothing is wasting time, that if you're not producing, you're dying. But here's the truth life lesson chapters has learned from every wise soul who ever lived: silence is not the absence of something, it is the presence of everything that matters. Your mind is a garden. Noise is the weeds. Silence is the water. Every morning, before you give your attention to the world, give it to yourself. Just 20 minutes, a chair, a window, your breath. That's it. That habit will not just change your day, it will rewire your life. If this story touched something inside you, if you felt that quiet whisper asking you to slow down, then you and I are walking the same path. Subscribe to Life Lesson Chapters. Hit that like button if you're ready to try 20 minutes of silence tomorrow morning. Share this video with someone who looks more tired than they should. Because the greatest lesson isn't found in a book or a sermon, it's found in the space between your thoughts. My name is not important. The story is. And your story is just beginning. Now go, before the sun rises, sit in silence, and listen to the person you've been ignoring for far too long.